What's going on, guys? Pickle Pete here, and I'm going to be telling you guys the story of me and Firefighter Kev backpacking Europe at age 19. Now, believe it or not, this is a book written by Paul McCarthy. Wonder who that could be. I was thinking about it. I was trying to get my book published for a little bit, and then I came to the realization who reads books who is my age? So, yeah, me personally, I don't know, I kind of had a little reading spur recently, but why would you do that when you could just go on YouTube or, I don't know, read books? Books are good for you. But I'm not getting my book published anytime soon, so I figured I might as well read off all of my stories, starting with a fire in a national airport and ending up into chapter 19 back in America or 18 southern Germany. So this is going to be a 19-part series of all the chapters. Let's get started off with some writer's notes. Now, starting off this book or video series, on the right now, Kebdog and I are heroes nor villains. We had the blessed opportunity to backpack and see and experience as much as we did. All these stories are real, and I will do my best to tell them, so you all can get the same experience that I did. Hopefully, laughing at our idiocracy and possibly learning something along the way. Now, sit back, relax, go grab some popcorn, or something that won't give you butterfingers, and I'll start us off with some background. Now, when planning out this trip on PDF notes as freshmen in high school, Kev and I planned a ton of different routes. Mostly Kev Dog. He was a lot more excited about it than I was. Starting in Greece, going all the way up to Norway, other ones going from Poland and ending up in Ireland. But as time was closing down, we finally found our route. Personally, I never thought this trip would even happen, and I'd really like to thank Firefighter Kev for this big idea and for getting me out of my comfort zone and helping me make it reality. We were planning on doing some trip before we went off to school, going off to college. We graduated in high school in 2021, but due to COVID 19 restrictions and being unsure as to what that entailed with our travels and all the rules from country to country, we pushed it back a year. So in the fall, we locked in our route, starting off with some family I have never personally met in Ireland. My great aunt, who was so kind of us, who was so kind to let us stay, and ended off the trip in southern Germany with Kevdog's family, who also was very kind and hosted us. Now, the rest of the 13 countries were left up to hostelworld.com. So, like any normal human, Kev and I slammed some mudslides and planned it all out. After solving a couple little hiccups for scheduling we made, not because of our drinks, we were ready to go, and my bank account was halfway gone. The total cost was $4,500 divided up into three main things. Travel, being the most expensive, then food and drink, finally, our experiences and museums. We saved a bunch of money by bringing our student IDs. If you guys ever travel, definitely bring those if you have high school or college, whatever that may be. Our total travel time with an unlimited train pass. It's called the Eurorail. You guys should definitely think about investing in that for 2 months and a flight to Ireland plus the London pass with an underwater train. Super cool. That went from London to France, Paris, more specifically. Not a fun chapter. We'll get into that later. And many nights in the hostels was around 2,500. Great. Now I can spend the rest on booze. Off to Ireland we go. We flew off on May 16th as we said goodbye to Kev Dog's parents at Boston Logan International Airport. We were both full of excitement. Special thanks to my family, along with the G family and friends in Germany, for doing such a great job hosting us this trip. It wouldn't be possible without them. Most importantly, anyone we met on our travel, I really mean this, who helped us out on our journey. Just completely random people in our travel, as you will see, as you will see some return on some of the favors to others as well. A lot of good karma came back to me and a lot of great people. Just putting out that positive energy, and it really helped us through some tough times on this trip. All right, enough with the fluff. Gross. Let's get things started off on how I started a fire in a national airport. Right off the bat, we ran into Kev Dog's first kill. He had one of these in almost every country. An example is him just accidentally bumping to someone and sending them flying. As we got some coffee because we had a 3 hour waiting in the terminal, boom, his first kill. It was an older gentleman. Oof, he shouted, which caught me off guard and I couldn't help but chuckling. After getting bored, we were playing in like this kiddie zone. It was pretty funny and it was space themed, but not for too long. We were off to our destination, Ireland. On the flight, we ran into an old couple from Minnesota, overhearing us and asked where we were backpacking to. We asked, well, what were they doing in Europe? And they were doing Europe balls to the walls. I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen. They were doing it better than us. They were doing it old people style, though, spending a month in Ireland, then in England, then in Italy, and then a few other countries. But they said they would be out of the States for 6 months. I was surprised and learned travel is not for the young, but also for the old who worked their whole lives and now only have free time left to enjoy travel. We had a layover in Iceland. When we got there, it was around 4:30 in the morning, a.m., their time. And as we were landing, the sun was rising. I got to see it happen twice, which was unbelievable. Seeing the sun rise twice, I don't think it was passable. It was like the perfect timing of the plane going down into Iceland, Revrik. And because we were so high, you could see the sun slowly rising over the mountains as we disappeared. And it came back up. It was just perfect. Our brains were telling us it was 1:30 in the morning, but due to the time change, it was really 4:30 a.m. We ripped a quick piss after getting off the airplane, and sleeping with boogers in our eyes, got to see a painting of a puffin and eagle. 10 out of 10 bathroom. I don't know why, but this was one of the cleanest bathrooms we saw on our whole trip. It wasn't busy at all. The only downside was the bar was closed. 4 in the morning. Messed up. I just wanted a drink. Anyway, to kill some time, I decided to go charge up some of my devices with my brand new power converter. In the US, we have a different plug than the UK and the EU. It has fewer amps. The US does, I believe. I throw the converter into the pronged outlet and plug in my socket, which allows me to charge up multiple devices. So I thought, as I'm sitting there sluggish, just running on excitement to get to Ireland and see my family, I started to hear some hissing noise come from my outlet, my little adapter. Shortly after, smoke starts rapidly fussing out of the adapter plugs, causing a small spark. Kev, it's smoking, I said, and firefighter Kev, with his natural firefighting skills, quickly unplugged it so I didn't start a fire in the airport. He calls me an idiot, and I take things into my own hands and banish that into the shadow room. I left that device in Iceland. It will not be missed. It was a cheap $12 adapter, and I think it just couldn't handle the sheer volts from the fire, or from the new outlet, or whatever. They got stronger outlet there. All was well and not on fire. The Icelandic Air Company ladies flew us to Iceland. On a side note, we booked our tickets for $169. Nice, 9 months in advance. So for those of you who do not know, this is a very cheap flight to Europe, an economy. It was pretty awesome. But anyways, my mom was not too fan of this idea because she thought the company would go out of business. But look at us now. I will rate every country out of 10. We didn't really get to experience enough of Iceland, and country I mean city as well. So I won't give it a rating, but stay tuned for an extremely based rating of every country slash city. And don't take this too serious, guys, or get offended. I plan on doing a lot of these ratings for every country. So don't take it to heart if you live there or you're from there, are all purely subjective based off of the time we had. All right, that's a wrap of chapter 1. Thanks for listening. You can catch me in chapter 2 on Getting Drunk Under the Table by My Great Aunt.